The greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. Who could it possibly be, in your opinion?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
It's a good question. I thought about this.
We rehearsed that back and forth, by the way.
Yeah.
Good question.
Good
Man,
question.
I never thought you'd ask.
Never thought you'd ask that. Honestly, I'm going to be a little. I'm going a little off script. Most people would say Muhammad Ali. That's just a natural reaction. I think Joe Louis is the best heavyweight champion of all time. And I tell you why.
Why?
I tell you why.
Why?
Muhammad Ali was a great champion.
He was.
Right?
Nicknamed
the greatest. But, himself. When you self-nickname yourself, like I like to name the bona fide sports expert, I name myself that. I want to tell you like that, right?
That's
It's
cool.
Pretty good.
Let me
right?
ask you a question.
Yeah.
What's Kobe's nickname?
Mamba.
Right.
Black Mamba.
So are you saying that it's a negative to anoint yourself a nickname?
No, if it works.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
if it works, if people, latch onto it. But it's self-promotion. Let's just be honest.
Did it work
with
for Ali?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Ali was that's kind of my point.
Okay.
And it by no fault of Ali's own. Let me explain this to the people in the world, because I know the world is watching. If you're watching over in France right now, c'est la vie. So, but listen, Ali, unfortunately,
Where the hell did that come from?
you never know what might come out of my mouth.
I agree.
Listen, so here's
it's a
the
roller
thing
coaster.
about Ali.
Yeah.
Ali could have been the greatest if he didn't have those 3 years stripped from him. He had 3 years stripped from him because of, not wanting to go into the military in that stance. That was Ali's prime. What we got Ali after that was still a great fighter, but he wasn't the same Ali as before. So he has great fights, the one with Frazier, the one with Foreman, but he also lost to Leon Spinks. He also
He was
had
37 years old.
I'm
Robert.
just saying, though. Look,
He was 37 years
Leon
old.
Spinks had 6 fights at the time. This was not like it was Anthony Joshua he was fighting against, or like when Vlad Klitschko fought him. So what I'm saying is not that take away from his greatness. I think Joe Louis was more dominant for a longer period of time. He had a loss against Max Schmeling in his prime.
Yes.
You know how he avenged that? He came out and took him out in one round. Not killed him, but, destroyed him. Ali and Frazier, they had some struggles. Yeah, he avenged the loss.
He did.
But he had to, it wasn't like he came back and just knocked him out. So I think, in my mind, Joe Louis,
All right.
best heavyweight of all time.
All right, so let me go back to something that you said.
Yes.
If he didn't have the 3 years stripped from him when he did not want to serve in Vietnam,
Correct.
Because as he said, his words, not mine, why should I go kill somebody when they have nothing against me?
Correct.
All right, now let's just think about that for 1 second. You said that he would have been the greatest if he didn't have those 3 years.
I agree.
That actually made him the greatest.
I think
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, but I think that's in a outside of the ring situation. You see what I'm saying? Not
Totally.
inside the ring. So if we're talking about like cultural impact and who do you know? Like he's one of the most famous athletes, of all time in any sport.
Well, hang on a second.
Right.
Your whole point about Max Schmeling was based off a culture
No.
that Joe Louis was fighting Nazism.
No.
That goes hand in hand
No.
with the bout that he had against
No.
Max Schmeling, not once when he lost, when he was viewed as a hero and then a zero when he lost, and then he was also then vilified for it, came back and beat him. He was viewed as an American hero once again.
That's all true.
That goes hand in hand
That's
with
all-
this entire argument.
That's all true. But if you notice, all I spoke about was him avenging the loss in the ring in devastating fashion.
But you can't say Max Schmeling without it being associated
that's
with
what we
Nazism.
that's what we lost
When
to.
he came back
Yeah.
to Germany,
Right.
he was flown first class.
Yeah.
He was paraded around
This is true.
with Nazi symbols all over him
Right.
and all over the town.
Correct.
So that goes hand in hand with it.
But I'm talking about in the ring. In the ring is what I'm saying.
Right, I'm saying that sport isn't just for sport.
Right.
As we covered many times.
Right,
There's
but-
so many outside
But
factors
if we're
that
talking,
go into it.
But if we're talking about the greatest heavyweight, we're talking about see that right? You see
Who had
how
a
fast
bigger
it-
impact on the sport?
Oh, Muhammad Ali. That's without question. That wouldn't even be debatable. If we're talking about
That's why it's not a debate.
yeah, that's why that part.
Again, I literally can't write this. You're making my point.
You put it in the right here. It's right here.
Yeah,
It says
what's in the slug?
It says greatest heavyweight of all time. It doesn't say greatest heavyweight is Muhammad Ali. Let's stare
See,
at the
that's
camera.
where we disagree.
Let's stare at the camera and
That's where
look
we disagree.
handsome for 5 minutes.
That's where we disagree. Don't look like an IG model. All right. So I think this is where we actually are finding a sincere disagreement. Not that we don't have them, but this has been like the theme for the last few episodes. Is that I view the cultural impact to go hand in hand with what they do inside of a stadium.
Correct.
Or a ring.
Correct.
Or a court.
Correct.
Or a field.
Correct.
You don't.
No, because when we're talking about who's the best, I'm thinking about inside of the lines, whatever those lines may be. Ring, octagon, field, court, little tennis, badminton, it doesn't matter. The guy that does, what is that, at the Winter Olympics,
Curling.
The curling guy?
Yeah, curling
Yeah,
guy.
the
guy
bad
who
boy.
looks like Andy Reid.
Yeah, the bad boy of curling.
Yeah.
See, it doesn't matter what he did outside. It doesn't matter what he is to his country. When the little curl, when it gets to the middle, is he the man that's getting it to the middle? That's how you do it. Just like that. You got to get your shoulders into it. You see your shoulders? Getting your shoulders in? You're not getting your shoulders?
No, I don't get
So
it.
you wouldn't be a good partner. See, you're not going to be my curling partner.
Curling?
No, you're not going to be my curling. Well, I'm talking to somebody behind the camera. You could be my curling partner.
You're giving me all the sports on the table, and all I have to pick from is curling?
No, my friend right here is going to be the curling partner, the one that you
I'd rather
can't
be
see.
Forrest Gump and play ping pong.
Look at that.
Took down China.
Look at that. Look at that form.
And Muhammad Ali took down many other narratives that he had as the greatest heavyweight of all time. When he was 25, that's when he decided, nah, I'm not going. And that actually made his legacy. For you to say that he would have been the greatest if he didn't have those 3 years,
I'm curling.
ridiculous, is asinine.
Still curling. Got to get it right in the middle.
I cannot believe that you went on to say that.
You know you want to get into
That
this.
made him who he is today.
You don't got no stamina.
That made him better than Joe Louis.
That's your problem right there.
That made him better than George Foreman, who he beat.
So Kevin McHale would do this.
Made him better than Joe Louis.
Not better than...
Made him better than Vladimir Klitschko.
Shoulder hurts now.
Made him represent boxing for the way that he should. And that is why he is the greatest.
Joe Louis. No, your shoulders, man. You got to put your shoulders in it. Come on, get some rhythm with it.